Hello YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor with what's on my bench. You're going to hear a lot of background noise. I was going to do 2 videos this week, but they've been here all week putting the new siding on the house, so there's a lot of banging, thumping, and all that. So if you hear that in the background, I apologize, but I wanted to hurry up, try to get a video out so everybody didn't think that I just disappeared. Got a lot done. I got the shop cleaned. That was first and foremost. We did get some stuff in the mail. We're going to take a look at that too real quick. It wasn't a whole lot, but give you an idea, I've got another build that I've been, to give you an example. So like I said before, I find cars or trucks via Instagram or magazines or whatever, and that's what inspires me to, do my builds. At least 90% of them. There's a truck that's been floating around on Instagram for quite a while, and I kind of just passed it by. I was like, hey, that would be pretty simple. And then I saw it again here a while back, and I was like, you know what? This is speaking to me. As crazy as that sounds, it's speaking to me. It seems like every time I pull up my feed, it's in the feed. So I went to the page, was actually able to find, the gentleman's page, and started following him, and I started looking through all the pictures of the truck, and I thought to myself, wow, okay, now we're talking. I've got full access to any angle, to whatever I want of the truck. Now is to pick how would I build it, full replica, or make my own version of it. Well, because I've not communicated with him, I've decided to go my own version of it. So we've picked our detail points of view, which would be inside the bed, tires and wheels, of course, the body, and I've only found one picture, and it's just a weird angle of underneath the hood. And it looks to be like a basic stock V8 engine. Not stock, but I'm sure it's built. It's just a regular V8 engine. Nothing crazy like an LS or, a Coyote engine or anything like that. So I was like, you know what? This is very doable in a quick manner. Only a little bit of detail is going to be required. And that's really cool, because that'll make a build go really fast and really come together for you and not have to worry about it so much. The truck's name is Villain, and that's what we're going to carry through. I will make a label, or have a label made for the display case when it's done, called the Villain. And I've contacted him, but he's not responded back to me yet, so hopefully he does. And I can get some better pics of the interior and underneath the hood, and maybe I can add a little bit more detail. Our first, I guess our start off would be maybe painting the body. I guess the bed's going to require a little bit of work. It will have a drop frame on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to use a full frame for it, or if I'm going to just, from the C-notch, back, do that type build. That'll be determined. I'm not going to be starting on it anytime soon. It'll probably be after I get the Corvette done, and it won't even be my main focus. It's, again, it's for me. It's not for show. Well, I mean, I'll take it to a show, but it's not going to be, built just specifically for a show, or whatever. So it's not going to be a big deal. It's going to be a pretty quick build, as where it's not. It's really crazy. I don't know why it's speaking to me so much, but it is. And it's the 1950 Chevy truck is the base kit for it. I was able to trade a bunch of these parts, all these spare parts I've been telling you guys about that I got. You just gotta let me know what you're interested in. Well, me and Mr. Jimmy Ledford, we worked out a deal. He took a good chunk of the parts, and in return I got the 1950 Chevy kit. I do have one, but that is for a specific build. So I didn't want to take that. I just needed another one. And it's getting murdered out. There's really no colors to it. All the chrome trim is a satin black. The body is matte black. The only chrome that is on the body is the door handles, the rivets in the bumpers, and the hood emblems. It says, 3100. Other than that, there's no chrome on the body. Everything else is either satin or matte black. The interior is black, but there is a few key points of the interior, and I will replicate that unless I can get some more better angles and better pictures of what's in the truck. As you can hear, the pound and everything. The house is looking really good. They got both sides done. It took them about a day and a half to get those done. Now they started on the back of the house, and then there's a gable out front, and then they got to do all the metal work and soffit work. So they'll be here for another day or two, and hopefully I can get some stuff done in here, because I got a full day. I can do whatever I want inside the shop today. It's just a matter of how much my head can take the pounding. Again, the 32 is done. You guys have seen that. We'll go over the Corvette here. That's what I've been primarily working on, that and Jay's. So I'm going to kind of just take you around and show you where we're at on everything. I'm going to turn the camera around here real quick, guys. Get the stand out of the way. We'll move this up front. So you can see we've got the base plant. It's the 572 big block. Cross ram injection. We've got the pulleys on it. All the little bolts and everything are detail painted. We got the belt on. We got our decals on. The intake is, or the fuel rail system is made. I've got it over to be chromed, and that's what I'm going to work on today. Also, all the chrome pieces I stripped were all sanded, prepped. They've been painted the base coat, so now I just got to chrome them. So, you guys can let me know what you think. And again, this is an Iceman's Collections engine. This is not one I've printed. The only thing we left aluminum was the bell housing. From the pictures I've seen, that's kind of how the real car was. So we're coming along there. The headers, they are wrapped, heat wrapped. So I said, what am I going to do? How am I going to do that? So I did. I was managed to do it. Now I left gaps, as you can see, where you can see black through it. I left gaps. I still got to finish wrapping this one right here, and then wrap it all the way up to where my thumb is. And that is done with the 16th inch ribbon. I just super glue a spot and start it, and then start wrapping it around. And then every so often I'll put a little drop super glue and hold it in place till it cures, and then keep wrapping. And that's just to ensure that it doesn't unravel and move around. But I like it like a little gap here and there. And then I painted it carburetor gold from MCW, green gold, just to give the appearance of what the heat wrap looks like. I'm not going for perfection. If I was going for perfection, there'd be no gaps in that. Sorry for the blurriness. Get my hand out of the way, maybe it'll focus. There we go. And I say that because I want it. I don't know. I don't really have an answer. I just liked it, so I like the look of it. And really, it's never going to be seen. You'll see the tops of it, where goes up against the head. This part right here, but down below there, you're not going to see it. If you look up from the bottom, you'll see that it's wrapped. So, that's all important. I could have made everything tight and no gaps. As I was doing it, I created a little gap. I was like, what? I like the look of that, because I know on a real one they would have it completely wrapped, nothing exposed. But it's just, I don't know. It's just something, I liked it the way it was going, and that's what I'm going with. And I'll duplicate the other side as much as possible. So yeah, that is very tedious work. It probably took me about 45 minutes to do what I've done so far, and probably another 15-20 minutes to finish it up. And here's the other side. I haven't started on it yet. It's just where I started with base black header. Front, there we go. There's some noise. And the front springs, I held them up to my spring. These are the same outer diameter. And then just marked them and cut them to length. So we got the same length and, real springs. So we'll do away with the kit springs and be using those. William at Ruckus Rods and Customs sent me a frame. So we're good to go now on the frame. There's the one he sent me. And here's the one, like I said, in the box. It was broken. The piece was not in the box. So, I could have repaired that. And I could have scratch built that. But like I said, it allowed me to stop and move on to other things and not waste any time trying to do all that. And then I've got a solid frame to work with. Also, give me a second here, guys. Put you back up here. And again, I apologize for all the background noise. That is our house. We did change the color also. Our house was like a light bluish gray with a little bit darker bluish trim, and then we have blue shutters and white trim. And I was like, it was too busy. So recently we had new windows and doors put in the house, and the front door was a different blue. So we had a professional come out, pull all the shutters off, and paint them to match the front door, and then it was just kind of gaudy. So we decided to get new siding, and we went with the dark gray, and everything's white now. So when they do all the metal work and the soffits, and the metal work being like on your gutter boards, and all the flashing on your gables, your rake boards, that'll all be white now. So it'll really mesh very well. Enough about that. I gotta find, I think I put it in here. Yes, I did. Doesn't go in there. And when I do, or when I get close to starting the villain project, guys, I'll have a post. I'll post a video, and at the end of the video, there'll be a slideshow of all the pics I've got of the real truck. And you guys can go check him out on Instagram. I ain't found him anywhere else, but to me, it's a beautiful truck. It's just the stance of it all, I guess. It is slammed. It's murdered out. It's just awesome. So the Corvette, back to that real quick. The Corvette has a custom steering wheel. And now everybody knows my printer is down. I didn't want to attempt to waste a lot of time on trying to print a steering wheel for this thing. And Ernest, Spunky, I can't remember the numbers. There's numbers after his name on YouTube. Great gentleman. He designed these for me and printed them and shipped them to me. Now they got some cotton on them. I got to clean all the cotton off of them, but he packed them and shipped them. Excellent. But you can see the steering wheel. It's billet aluminum, and then this is wrapped in that dark red leather to match the interior. So it's just a key piece. Since it's a convertible, it's all open. I don't want to just throw the stock steering wheel on there and say, this is a replica, and it wouldn't be. It's not replicating what's there. So this saves me a lot of time. And he sent me 2 different sizes so I could match it perfectly to, what the kit one was. And I didn't take the kit one out yet, but I will compare those two to that, and then I'll use the one that's the closest to that diameter. But that's a cool little thing. It's always good to have a friend that, besides yourself, that does 3D printing and design, such as in Ryan, Z-Force Model Works, and Ernest, and also what was it? I'm going to say it wrong. McGill, I think it's Devil Dogs Customs. I think I said that right. Because those guys know how to design and print. So where I don't know how to design, I can just print. I can't even do that now. So it's great to have, backup. So if you can ever befriend somebody that is that does that kind of stuff, and you're in a pickle and you want to build a replica, it's always a good place to go to one of your friends and ask them if they could do that for you, or pay for it, whatever terms you work out with them. In this case, Ernest, out of the kindness of his heart, made these for me and sent them to me. So I'm very appreciative of him and William. William's helped me out many times. As you guys know, the Hot Wheels replica group build that we will have every year, that's coming up here soon. We'll be talking about that more. After he was done with his build and submitted his final pictures, he sent me his build. It blows me away. I still got to get it out, get it cleaned up, and there's just a tiny little repair to make in the front, and then it'll be on full display. And I've decided to put a shelf up. I got to move my Mopar sign up here, and I'm going to put a shelf above my panel access, and just put the group builds up there. That way I have a dedicated space for them, since we're going to do this every year, or every year that we can. And hopefully each year it gets bigger and bigger. So remember, guys, spread the word. It starts in September. I think it's October 20th. Yes. It'll start September 27th, and it'll run until December 27th, which is my birthday. And I think it's like 3 or 4 months it gives you to build it. The only requirement is you have to use the Redline tires and wheels that are designed by Ryan Jones, the Z4 Smallworks. Again, the people that were in it last year, I was doing everything I could to make a collage picture to send everybody away saying thank you. Instead, we're going to do the tires and wheels to those people that entered last year. So they'll have a set to start off with. Everybody else, you'll have to either get with Ryan Jones. I'm sure he'll start making those available. I'll let him know, and he'll start making those available at that time also. And I'll do my best to print a few sets off if anybody needs them. And we'll talk about a price on, an email. But now that we got the chassis, we're okay. We can get our floor pan in right here. We can start making. We do have to shave the inside of the frame rail just a little bit. I want to give just enough clearance for that engine to sit down in here. As it is right now, take it off of here. You guys can see it sits right in the chassis. I think that I got clearance for the radiator in the front, which is important. And on the real car, the front of the engine sticks out of the hood a little higher than the back of the engine. So I verified that, so we know we're good there. Body-wise, we've been starting on our flanges to run around, which would be like the rain gutter. We did get our emblem shaved off in the front. I can feel a little hump, so we got a little more sanding to do. And then we'll have our final sand, which will be with 3000, and clean up my panel lines around these openings a little bit better, and we'll be going into primer on that. So that's pretty much where I'm at with that, other than getting some parts out and getting them cleaned up and kind of looking at pictures and going back and forth and waiting on parts. I'm still waiting on one key piece of parts to come in. Those are from RB Motion. If you guys are familiar with him, he's amazing at making full aluminum little parts, especially like the Army Navy fittings, A&N fittings. He's got those all in different sizes, banjo fittings, switches, screws, bolts, nut heads, bolt heads, all that for that high quality, high end detail. Prices are reasonable. Quantity versus price, it averages out to about $1 a piece. So, like I bought 3 packs. It would cost me $36 for shipping. So that's a lot of money for, 12 parts. It is. I only need 8 to 10. But I've got a few extra in case there's a couple extra ones I want to put in there of detail I didn't see, or I can use them on another build. It's just they're perfect. They're just as spot on as the real thing, but just in miniature. So when you can find that kind of detail, you go with it. Like I said, save your money for the big things. Ball on a budget for all the things that you can get away with, and it looks just like it. And for years I've bought resin casted A&M fittings. I paint them black, chrome them, and then anodize them as far as red and blue, whatever. They don't always look the best. They look okay. They are. It depends on what you're building for, I guess I should say. If you're building a shelf queen, they're perfect. No problems. You're going to have a lot of people staring at it on a table and judging it. You kind of want to be, at that top end, especially if it's visible. You want it to be, as perfect as can be. Now on the 32, no, those are resin casted A&M fittings, and I anodize them. They're not perfect, but they do look good. And with the 32, I'm setting it on the table, and I really don't care. If it wins, it loses, whatever. It's just everybody will get to see it. You got to see it being built on the channel, and it's just a way to see it up close. But with the Corvette, the focal points are under the hood. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure that everything looks spot on. Sorry about that. So I'm going to carry you around here, and we're going to take a look, because it's pretty much on the vent. I've not been down here in days. I want you to take a look at this Cutlass. We do have it in primer. I just got it mocked up here, the bumper and the grill. And it's mainly just to check the suspension, which we will roll over here. You can see we got the suspension painted. That's the final on it. As far as seeing my bodywork, see, if you look at this, you can't really tell the bodywork I did to that. I mean, that rear is narrowed in 4 inches, scale 4 inches. So the patience and the bodywork paid off. Now, if you get up close with the mic, you can see some deformities here and there. But once everything's put on here, you're really not going to notice it. So it's not a big deal. Those two big gaping holes, that's for the coilovers. So you'll never see it once those are in there. And once the diff is in. Where we narrowed it in up here, there's a little craziness here and there. But again, at the end of the day, once all the details in there, it's not going to be that noticeable. So we got the interior tub in it right now, because I got to mark off down that trans tunnel where I need to paint. So that'll get sprayed separately, along with the firewall. We still got to sand on the firewall. The front end, we got it. Everything looks good. The body did show where I need to do some more body work, which is the purpose of the first coat. The hood, I've not seen any flaws in the hood. We'll get up close here and look and see. It will get wet sanded. But yeah, it came out pretty good. Underneath, we got a little area here where I had it taped to a stick. I'm not too worried about that, because again, it'll get hit with the body color, and I'll have to come back in and paint with a tiny brush all the material here. Black, flat black. We got the tires and wheels painted. These are done. I gotta assemble them now and get the center caps on. We are using MGSF center caps, the racing ones. So those will get painted and applied separately. The brakes go in behind the wheels. We still gotta do that. The roll cage has been primed. And now I can see where I need to go back and make just a little bit more sanding on it. And then get it into paint also. The front roll cage up here in the engine compartment, we will have to mask everything off on the suspension and just shoot that roll cage to match this. We got the spoiler primered. It's good. I found some little divots. I don't know if it'll pick it up on camera or not. Let's see if it'll focus. I guess not. And there's one right here, right by each hole. So we're going to have to sand it down a little bit, add some putty, and then sand it down and reprime it. But that's okay. That's what your first coat of prime is all about. So we are getting along on J's. Really good. We were also, like I said, I told you, viewer's choice was ready for paint. We decided to go ahead and prime it first. We can look for any flaws at this point, clean up our panel lines if we need to, which I see back there on the trunk. There's a little area that needs to be cleaned up. Other than that, everything looks really good, so it'll be ready to go right back into paint with a little wet sand on the prime to get everything smooth. So yeah, we got that ready. We got the build area cleaned up. Our canoe is ready to go into prime, so we might get that today also. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. You guys have all seen the paint stand my son got me for Father's Day. I have not found a location for it yet, but we will. And again, I love the fact it's got all the colors and the numbers on the cards. And my son gave me a good idea. I could actually change that and label it to what I actually have. Only certain paints will fit in here, so you know, it's not like, I don't think they might. No, they won't. MCW paints won't fit in the rack, but all of your Vallejo, Ammo, MIG, all those style paints will fit in here, and that's what it's for. I would love to get sponsored by Vallejo and then them fill this rack for me. That would be awesome, but that'll probably never happen. So I talk about interiors a lot, where I hand paint most of my interiors. So let me set you down here. Turn you. Okay. There was a company that did just interior colors, and they're no longer. Can't get them anymore. So I went to my first love of paint when I first got back into the hobby, and I started using the airbrush again. There was only a few. There was like Zero, there was Splash, there was Gravity. I think Gravity not USA, but Gravity across the pond there. I think they're still in business, but you know, it's international shipping and everything else, so it gets a lot more pricey. Gravity USA is no longer a thing. Hopefully somebody picks it up. It was good paint, good clear coats, you know, wheel colors, like I've got some of their wheel paints, but you know, other than that, you can't get them. So I'm trying to think. So when I first started with the airbrush. Splash was the first paint I used, and I fell in love with it. It sprayed so nice. The 2K sprayed so nice. Very minimal cleanup, sanding, polishing, and all that. So I was really happy with it. And I've been buying over the years because I still love Splash paint. And they've got an interior line out now. We'll get these out. I just got, I think, 4 more. Make sure. Yes. I think that's it. Okay. So we got gray interior. Try to hold it up to where it'll, there it is, verify. I'll give you the number. The number's right above or right below. SP1-006. I guess that's what it is. Yep, 006. That's interior colors are different. They're not the same as the body paints. But these are lacquer. So just keep that in mind. And then I got dark oak interior. There's the number. Kind of give you a look at the color. These are non-metallic. These are solid color. They look like leather after you spray them. That's what I like. And there's ways of blending and shading with these to give even better appearance. We've got tan. Again, there's the number. There's kind of the color. Mind you, these aren't mixed up or anything, so. And then I've got cream. and red, which this is the color I used on Wife's Choice and Viewer's Choice interior. Sprays beautiful. Very light coats, 2 or 3 coats, that's it. Very little paint used. I've used this like 2 or 3 times, and I still got about half a jar of paint. So you can go get a lot of interiors done out of this. There's only one other color that's available, and that's black. But I already have a black that I use for interior. If I use lacquer, it works very well. Gives the same appearance. It's not made by Splash, but if that ever goes away, then I will go right back to Splash, because I like how their paints lay. So we got those 4 colors in through the mail. And if you guys have any questions, just drop them down in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them however I can. And then I'm going to turn you around and show you my action. That whole rack is nothing but Splash paints. Now, and I have my all-clad in there too, and I'll move that as I get more Splash. But I've got their primers, you know, custom colors. It goes all the way down to the bottom there. And I have room for 1, 2, 3 more jars down here. I have to take the all-clad out. I got spots for 2 up there. And so I've got a good arsenal to go to for what I want to do. And then there's all my Gravity colors, my MCW colors. There's some in the box here also. If I can get that to open. There we go. As you can see, that one's full MCW. So I got a nice little collection of MCW, and I'll keep purchasing MCW because I do like them. And then we have my automotive paints. Most of these are PPG. They're mixed at the dealership that I work at. Some are candy colors, some are pearls, some are just base coat, clear coat system type thing. And then I have all my craft paints, and back there's craft paints. All my clear coats and top coats for, Createx. And then this shelf here has Createx that goes all the way across. As you can see, a white caps back there from there. All the way here is all my Createx colors. These are all my candies, pearls, translucent, and then there's another one I have also. So I got a nice arsenal to go with that. And that, what I said before holds true. These can be mixed and to create an off-the-chart color. So you just play with them. They're water-based. They're easy to clean up. Once they cure, they're just like anything else. I can use 2K clear over top of those. I can use 2K clear over top of these craft paints, automotive paints, and the Hobby World type paints, Splash and Gravity and Zero and MCW. And there's my leveling thinner that I use. That is my base lacquer thinner that I use. And there's my clear coat system, the Acme finish. The bottom one is the clear coat, and that is the hardener reducer. And then I also use Mr. Color 400 leveling thinner in with that also, which thins out that clear even more to where you hardly have to do any wet sanding. There's hardly ever any orange peel or anything like that in my finish. I talked about a primer before. This is it, Vallejo. This is ready to use. You just shake it up. This is good for any acrylics, MCW, enamels. I've not sprayed lacquer over this yet. That is a test I still got to do. So if you ask me about that, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain you can spray lacquer over that. I will do a test on a spoon and see, and then I can update you on that. And that is all my Tamiya paints, rattle cans, clear coats, you name it. So I decant those and use them through my airbrush now. I used to just use rattle cans, but now I decant it and use it because Tamiya has some beautiful colors, and I love using them, but not rattle can anymore. So now you got an idea of all my paints. Back around. We did, but it'll be a separate video. Get a mail call in from MGSF. We got our Fat Boy wide body kit for the Mercedes. and some new parts that he sent, and we're going to go in depth detail on that. We'll show the kit, we'll show the trans kit, and the other accessories he sent along for you guys to see. Like I said, that'll be a video by itself. I'm working on that now. I'm going to kind of do some things a little bit different on that one, because as the build goes, I have to post both Instagram and on YouTube, so I got a little bit more work to do with that. But we've got the bench cleared over here basically to get started on that. So we'll have that going. We're going to have the vet going, Jay's going, and then viewer's choice, because it's so close to being done. So we're got ourselves built back up where we got a lot to do, but I like that. My time to work down here is getting better. I'm getting a little bit more time, at least 2 more days a week, which is phenomenal. So I can create more content for you guys. I can get a lot more builds done that are really close, such as viewer's choice, wife's choice. Projects to start is the Mercedes. When the vet's done, we'll be starting the villain, and there'll be a video out with that showing all the parts, the kit, and at the end there'll be a video slide of the actual one-to-one truck, so you can see where my inspiration's coming from. We will also pull the 53 down once viewer's choice is done. We're going to pull wife's choice down, and then we'll pull the 53 down once I get the canoe into primer. That's going to be a side project, me just hand painting, using different methods, wet palette, so on and so forth. And it's just, that kind of gives me a break from all the craziness to sit here and hand paint. Of course, we have dioramas. We got 3. Hopefully we will get elbows deep on one of them here soon. Again, I apologize about the noise. And yeah, then we'll start getting prepped and ready for Acme. And hope to see you guys down there. I will be at the 6th Annual Ohio Valley Regional, July 15th. Anybody's going to be in the Louisville area, I want to come in. It's always a great show. A lot of great vendors there. They have good food, very cheap food. It's a good atmosphere. You can see a lot of guys that are on Instagram, that are on YouTube. A lot of your vendors that you've seen at other shows, they'll be there. I'll be there. There'll be some. I'm pretty sure Tim will be there from Throttle Power. He usually is. So you get a chance and you're in that area, come on out. Be glad to meet you. Again, I am out of shop cards, so I don't have any to hand out, but they will be in sometime in October, hopefully right before Acme, so I can take this with me to Acme. And yeah, I think that's about it, guys. It's on the budget. Or bill. What's on the bill? And you know me, there's other builds. We still have Ring Brothers to work on. We have the Gray Stang. We do have our 60/66 S10. But I'm going to try to get with Gary at G Seeds. Gary G Seeds. I'm trying to find a shop card. Oh, there it is. Hanging with Mr. G Seeds. I'm going to try to get with him. Remember, the roof is kind of got a low rider theme. Never done that kind of masking and work. So I'm probably going to try to get schooled a little bit on how I should go about it and techniques and everything else. And I have his phone number, so I'm going to communicate with him on the phone. And we can hopefully educate me and make an attempt on that, because that's gone a long way. Remember, we got the engine pretty much done. The chassis is pretty much done. Tires and wheels are done. We got the body in matte black. Now it's just the masking and flaming and the roof work, and then we can start putting that fine little details that McGill made for me, the little fan for the dash. I printed it out. He designed it. And a few other things that I'll have to scratch build for it, for the little icing on the cake type things. So just stay tuned. Thank you to all my past, present, and future subs. If you're not sub, please, doesn't cost you anything. Just sub, hit that bell notification so you know when these videos come out. You'll get to follow along on the Corvette build, the commission build for Jay at J Mini Scale Garage, the wife's choice, and viewer's choice. Remember, viewer's choice. It'll be coming up here soon. You guys will be picking a specific build that we will build, and you guys will get to pick the color, the model kit. Now, of course, I'll have a few sitting out to choose from. I'll have my own little personal interest in it, but you guys will get to kind of pick and choose which direction we go with it this time versus that time. That means the style of build, the paint color, interior color, the kit itself, tire and wheel selections. So I'll have variants and choices for each, and you guys will just pick which ones, and the highest vote will determine which one gets built. And then we've got the 53, which is just a kit for me that I've been wanting to build. Again, I have inspirational pictures that speak to me and say, do this, you can do this. So, and that's pretty much going to wrap it up for, other than a half a dozen that I have started, that we will get back to on a normal, probably on a Monday, of stalled projects, or we'll pick a different day of the week, whatever we can get in. It'll just be dedicated to stalled projects, what my inspiration was, where I'm at with it, why did it stall out on it, type thing. And like I said, there's about a half a dozen, maybe a little bit more of those. We've covered one. The next one will be the Oliver Biden project. That's what it's called. It's a 67, 68 fastback Mustang. Beautiful car. And I'll let you know where I'm at on it and show you, and what I've got going on, and yeah, we'll go from there, guys. So it's Friday. You guys have an awesome, safe weekend. Get some modeling in. Thank you to Hobby Nut Models, Ryan Jones, MGSF. Without all those guys kind of helping me along the way with just little things to show you guys and get your whistle wet, excited over it. It's really good. Hopefully here soon. Ryan's been really super busy, so he's not had time to do a lot. So hopefully he gets some stuff sent to the channel soon. And the wheels for the villain will be coming from him. That's wheels that I'm paying for, because I had him custom design them to match the real truck. So they're, it's not just something that's going to be in manufacturing and production for you guys to buy. Again, these one-off things that he makes for me are just, for me. Doesn't mean you can't get them, but the only set I know that you can't is the set that is up for grabs once we hit 1,000 subs. Remember, they say 1K on here, on each wheel. These were specifically designed by Ryan Jones for the kit that is going along with it, and there is no others, or will be any others. These are one-off. No, nobody else has these guys. Nobody else is designing these, even as of today. Now, it doesn't mean that somebody won't see them and say, oh, I can make those, and they make them, and I can't do nothing about that. But these are engraved, designed with saying 1K. So, these with the kit, you're getting the engine, the components, you're getting a slew of stuff to use for the build. Excuse me. Hopefully, doesn't mean you have to use it all and build it that way. I'm hoping that you do, and I hope you bring me along the way, or send me pictures I can share with all of you on how you're building it. But first place is really, really nice. Again, once we get up in the higher 900s, we'll start revealing all this stuff. First, second, and third place, what you're going to be getting, and we'll go over the rules and everything again then. So bell notifications, that's when you'll know. That's how you know. Tell your friends, spread the word, man. We're we're holding, but we're not going anywhere. Air is very dry in here today. I had to it got so cold in here the other day, I had to shut everything down because it was too cold for paints and what have you. So I shut the vents, and I have the air purifier running now to clean up the air. Because when it gets like this is what happens. I get all congested. But again, thank you guys. Have a great, safe weekend. We'll see you next week. I am super busy next week. I got a lot of doctor's appointments, but I will jump in here and there and in between. We'll be doing the MGSF Fat Boy reveal and the kit review and the other components that MGSF sent us, so you guys get a better look at all that. And remember, his parts are now available through Upscale Hobbies. So that is, Upscale Hobbies is probably about an hour and 45-minute drive for me if I want to go to his house. He's not far from me, so shipping is really reasonable. And anywhere in Central and East Coast would be easy shipping. Even on the West Coast, it's still only a few, 2 to 3 days. And then, of course, allow for the mail's screw-ups. But other than that, guys, that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed it. Go out and give Ernest a follow. William, Ruckus Rods and Customs, thank you again to both of you guys. Go follow them. Both of them great builders. Ernest is an absolutely fantastic builder and designer. He needs a lot of love and support, so go out there and give it to him. I will try, guys, down in the descriptions. I'm not real good at getting people's links down there to their channels. I'm doing something wrong. I'm sure I am. But I'll try to have both these gentlemen's links down below so you can at least go check out their channels. Most of you are familiar with them or you're already subscribed to them. But if you're not, go get them checked out. Oh, not a big thing, but if you guys remember, right here, turn you crazy to angle. Works fantastic, but realize the water will evaporate because when the humidifier is running, it sucks up the water out of this, and then it keeps draining down. And I've only been gone for like 5 days from down here, and all the water is gone. It's down here like it's supposed to be, but it evaporates and dissipates, and you're gotta have to keep up on it. Make sure it's full of water. Clean out the tank down below. Scrub the top surface. All that stuff. Especially if you're cleaning off any kind of metallics. There's little metallics that build up around that seal, and it could cause it just constantly leak water out. Sorry again. So, again, I'm done. I've rambled some. Nothing else I can think of. Any questions, leave them down in the comments, please. I'd like to see pictures of your guys' builds. Feel free to email me, send me pictures. That keeps me informed of what you guys are doing. And anything else. Any questions, anything else you want to see and you want to see more in depth, you just got to ask. I'll be glad to do it. So, that being said, this is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.